Hello fourth grade, here is the picture that I'm going to show you how to make this week. A beautiful, colourful hummingbird. So we're continuing working with colour pencil and we're building on the skills and techniques from the last 2 weeks, which is blending colours. We're using a looser style than we did in the last 2 weeks. Looser style means it's in places it's not completely tidy, you know, that we actually make use of this sort of slightly scratchy, rapid movements, and we actually make use of that because it adds to the style of the picture. Okay, so let's begin. So even though we're going to work in a looser style today, we're still going to plan out the shapes quite carefully of the bird that we want to draw. We're going to plan these construction lines so that our hummingbird will be the correct size and shape, or the correct proportions. The first thing we're going to do is make a V shape that will make the top of the wings. We're going to start near the edge of the page, on the left side of the page, and come down and then up. And practicing these lines first is a really good idea. Kind of practice that movement with your arm. It's a really good idea. And then finally, when you're ready, you put the line in place. We're going to try and aim for the kind of middle of the page, come up again. Something like that. From this point, we're going to take another line down to about here, near the bottom part of the page. Something like that. And then just here, this is going to be the tail. Curving line here is the breast of the bird, coming up to the neck, and here's the head. Maybe curve that line a little bit more. Now this wing is almost a straight line. I'm just going to fatten it a little bit like that. And finally we'll add the beak and the eye. Hummingbirds have this long beak, don't they? Some of them have a curving beak, some of them have a straight beak. Something like that. So the next thing to do is to choose your color selection. If you want to, you can look up pictures on the internet of hummingbirds. They come in all different colors, don't they? So if you want, you could do a realistic hummingbird and look up the colors of one of the particular kinds of hummingbirds. Then you might also want to change the shape of the beak, of course, if you wanted to make it a realistic, true-to-life hummingbird. It doesn't have to be. It can be your own choice of colors. Could be kind of magical, super colorful hummingbird, could be a rainbow colored hummingbird. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. So I'm choosing a yellow, an orange, a very dark red, purples, and I have this silver pencil, and I have a black one too, very short black one, but there it is. And I'm going to use those colors one by one. Starting with the yellow, I'm just going to put a little yellow just here, I think. I'm going all the way to the tip of the wing with the orange, and I'm going to do the same on this one too. Using this silver next. Hummingbirds have this amazing kind of metallic, shiny quality to their feathers. It's called iridescence. What a beautiful word for a beautiful thing. When something's shiny, it catches the light like jewellery. They have iridescent feathers, so it's nice that I have this silver pencil. So I just want to pause and talk about what I'm doing here a little bit. It's this looser style where you can leave little white gaps. It's okay, you don't have to colour everything in like a solid block of colour. You can leave these white spaces, and then afterwards, like you saw, I worked back with the orange and kind of filled in some of those spaces and blended those colours as well. Alright, so I added the dark red and blended the orange into it, and of course the other colours too. I'm going to try and do the same colours on this wing, but the wing is so kind of, the angle of the wing makes it very small, so it's kind of harder to mix the colours, but I'm going to try and do them the same here. And then use different colours on the body of the bird, but basically use the same technique, leaving white spaces and then blending them in again with different colours. Now the way I've done this line, this block of colour, is quite important to talk about this. I've tried to use the direction of the body to shape the direction of the lines. Because this is the kind of chest of the bird, it's important that the lines are kind of following that bulge of the chest. So you see how they start to curve here? They kind of curve like in this shape, and then they come down, the lines come down and start to curve the other way, and all the time blending into this colour that I put here at the start. Okay, so even though we've got this kind of loose style, leaving areas of white, letting the overlapping lines create patterns, even though we're doing that looser style, it's not completely chaotic. We're still thinking about the direction of the lines. This darker color here, it's not black, it's this very dark red, but it has the same effect that we've used black, but in the way that we used black before in the other drawings, which creates this kind of shadowy effect here. I'm going to use the black for the beak and the eye now. So when you look at that, I've brought this color closer to the eye, but again, the white space is important there. I think it looks good with a white outline around the black eye. I've made this area quite dark now, but I'm just going to try with the black, adding the little feet here. To finish my picture of a hummingbird, I want a blurry green background. Like if it was a photograph, all the leaves on the trees and other plants in the background would be blurry, out of focus. So I'm going to take some greens and a yellow. So I've got two quite light greens and a yellow. And this is quite fun, you've probably done this before. I'm going to use all three at the same time. And just lightly fill in the space like this around the bird. And that's it, finished picture. Have fun making beautiful hummingbirds, you guys.